missed again.
Corner kick from Shrek over to Becky Contreras. Non-conference games are when teams have the chance to find out what they have on their team, but conference play is when the record truly matters. That's exactly what we have for you tonight as the Kennesaw State Owls face off against the North Alabama Lions here on this Thursday night to kick off the ASUN Conference season. Both teams have a reason to believe that they've started to collect their answers for their offensive woes coming into tonight. The Owls are fresh off of a 3-1 win over Wofford, a statement win that helped create some identity for that attack and help move the Owls to 3-4. The Lions are looking to repeat what they did versus Jackson State as they finally got their first win of the season, advancing to 1-6-2 on the year. Jordan Griffith, Mateen Rad here on the call for tonight's action. Both teams are looking to set the tone for ASUN play. So let's take a look at both teams. What's it going to take, or who's it going to take for North Alabama to start off undefeated tonight?
Well, I think you're going to need their starting goalkeeper, Peyton Yates, to really show that she's the starter this season. She was replaced by Jordan Spreck in the last game in that Jackson State game, and they got their first win in the season. She needs a big performance today that shows that she's really the #1 for North Alabama this year.
And what about Kennesaw State?
I think look no further than your current ASUN Player of the Week, Tiana Rivera. She's coming off a great performance, a 3-point performance against Wofford. She's someone that has blistering pace going forward, and she can really tear up the Lions defense today.
And once again, both these teams looking to solve their offensive woes. We talked to Coach Walton here today, and he says we need to start off better in the first half. We've known for a couple of years now that this soccer team is a second-half team. What do you think it's going to take for them to maybe get that push in the first half?
I think they really need to create that pressure in the attacking third, Jordan. The Owls succeeded by making life difficult for Wofford in the deep possession. KSU nibbled at the Terrier Hills constantly, and they were first to every 50-50 ball. As for North Alabama, they're going to need to be taking their chances and be adventurous on set pieces. That's where the Owls have somewhat collapsed in play this season, and they can get a chance to put something on net. It could be all Lions today.
And we are just a few minutes from kickoff here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Once again, Jordan Griffith, Mateen Rad here on the call. 68 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, but it's a little chilly out there. I got my jacket up here in the press box. You know, that's how I am. I'm a diva. But we are about underway here at Kennesaw State.
I think it's a perfect day for soccer, to be honest, Jordan. I love to have that little chill in the air when you're running onto a ball. It's absolutely tremendous.
First day of fall. First conference game. What could be better for the Owls and the Lions? And starting for Kennesaw State, we have Dylan Pixton in between the posts here today, the mainstay for Kennesaw State. And like you were talking about, Peyton Yates getting the start again. Technically, I'm not sure if you would give her a win. I'm not sure if you would give her a win on this season. Jordan Spreck with that first win. Yates going to be looking to get that first win on her resume for this season.
Absolutely. And some interesting returners into the KSU squad today. We see on the right wing, it's going to be Jenna Volrath. That's her first complete start this season. Also missing out on the last game was Macy Rainwater. She's someone that has 2 goals this season, and she's someone that's very tenacious in offense. She's a big return for KSU today. And
that was another player that Coach Walton and Tiana Rivera both talked about today in our meeting. They want to see Macy Rainwater continue to grow. She's a freshman, was the first Owl to get to that 2-goal mark. Let's see if she can continue that. And right now, as a freshman, being able to play that well in the attack, that's got to be a good problem to have for Coach Walton, to have a player that's outgrowing their potential so early on. The Owls in the patented black and gold, black uniforms with the gold numbers, and North Alabama with the white and purple uniforms. And we are underway. Fresh 45 up. Kennesaw State goes right at it, trying to get a through ball in the middle.
And that's something you're going to see a lot today, Jordan. They love to try and put those long passes in from their defense and try to get a runner onto it.
I think Coach Walton was talking about Kennesaw State being a very good transition team, but they got to finish. They have to get the opportunities to create and to finally.
In a goal on a corner and defended well all game.
Malin Anderson able to cross that one over, get it through the middle, but that will be easy for Cameron Simmons to swallow up, or maybe not. Almost got a one-on-one left Pixton on the island, but all for naught. Rivera with the semi-cross. Again, too much on that one.
We see that pace from her early on. She described herself as a go, go, go player this afternoon, and it's hard to disagree with her, Jordan.
Oh, absolutely. Like you were saying, as soon as that Wofford game started, you could just see it in her eyes. She was going to score, and she did exactly that. 1 goal, assist, 3 points off 5 shots against Wofford. Again, good enough to earn ASUN Player of the Week. She's got 5 points on the year on 15 shots. And this is just a sophomore from Miami, doing a lot early on for Walton and this crew.
Definitely, I think looking at their 11 that starts out, this is one of Kennesaw State's best 11 in my opinion. Obviously, you still have Becky Contreras to come into the lineup dealing with injury, but very attacking when you see Gianni, Macy Rainwater, Kendall Higgs, Volrath, Rivera. They might be going for it today.
Yeah, and Miller also a player that can really mix it up, play all 3 positions if she really needs to. And Mateen, speak to, I think, the maybe good problem that Coach Walton could have on his hands with Contreras maybe coming back relatively soon and having all of these young players that maybe he didn't expect to step up so early on.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be difficult for him to select a team with her coming back. I mean, who do you pull out of this top 3? You have Volrath, who's a key returner. Kendall Higgs was the 2nd top goal scorer last season. Tiana Rivera has shown how dangerous she is. Macy Rainwater is one of 2 players that has 2 goals.
And just having so many strikers, so many attackers is not usually a problem that Coach Walton is used to having. But here we are running up the sideline. Kendall Higgs showing off the wheels. But again, back to North Alabama. Really just a back and forth foot race for both teams early on.
It was a great play by Higgs. She used her head to just flick it on, ran onto the ball, just couldn't keep it in.
About 5 minutes into this match early on the first conference game of the season for both teams. 0-0 still.
And this is a team, Jordan, in Kennesaw State that is looking to come back into the ASUN with a vengeance. They feel hard done by after losing 2 conference championship finals in a row. They're going to come back angry and with a goal in mind.
And there's the cross over to Kellett. And that one knocked back. Just kicked right into the stands. Good way of clearing that one.
Well done by Shrek. It came off her last. She does well to save it from going into a corner.
Shrek, probably one of the rangier defenders on this team. The back line has been hot and cold as of this year, but when you have players like Shrek, you know they're just going to be able to anchor that back line.
Absolutely, and she's someone who, you know, she'll also get up and play left forward if they want to play a more adventurous game. But she's someone that we know well from set pieces, don't we, Jordan?
Yeah, absolutely. She's got listen, I haven't seen a whole lot. I'm not doing an exact scouting report of every corner kick in the ASUN, but I would be hard-pressed to find a prettier one than what Shrek can do.
Couldn't agree more.
That one just safe kept over to Pixton. And we all know Coach Walton loves Pixton. She's got 7 starts on the year every game. And here we go. There's Rivera in the open field like we were talking about. Is this going to be an opportunity? Maybe not. Good job by that back line to just outrun that ball.
You were talking about Pixton, Jordan, and he's someone that I talked to Coach Walton about a couple weeks ago. And she's someone that coach thinks is very underrated. Coach thinks she's the best goalkeeper in the ASUN. And when you see the way that she commands her box for what's considered a shorter goalkeeper, it's hard to disagree with him.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And again, I think that she's also been able to cover up for maybe some errors on the back line that we saw earlier in the season. It's certainly been improved. There's no doubt about that. You can see that just on the score sheet alone. But she's also been able to save some balls into really nice positions. Just an overall good goalkeeper, an experienced one. In that, she played 1,200 minutes last year. Had 5 clean sheets. Looking for her first one this year. Doesn't quite have it. They work it into the corner. Yeah, I was just looking to keep possession. There you go. You got the numbers 2-on-2. But the Lions being able to battle in the midfield. You see number 7, Bussy, out there with a cast there on her right arm. Still playing. Rivera trying to outrun her woman on the side. Trying to create an opportunity in the box. She crosses and will be cleared out here by the Lions. Simmons coming all the way up from midfield trying to keep that one in Kennesaw State's possession.
Yeah, this is something we saw a lot, and it was part of my keys to the game, Jordan. Keep the pressure, keep them pinned up high so you can try to keep possession any way you can and make dangerous key plays happen.
Yeah, and again, that's something we haven't seen a ton of outside of the Wofford game for Kennesaw State. Usually just a run-and-gun sort of attack. But you're absolutely right. If they're able to do that, I think that'll be a game changer for Kennesaw State and just the evolution of the front line that we haven't seen so far. And that one just recycled back to Pixton. Neither team getting too many opportunities as of yet, but 37.5 left in this first half of play.
And early on, you're seeing how much of the play revolves around Pixton in the back line. A lot of circling, a lot of trying to open channels up to put balls into. And I don't think you could do that with any other goalkeeper besides Pixton in this conference.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And even with a Pixton in goal, that's still kind of risky sometimes. And we've seen Kennesaw State maybe get bit by that, but Pixton just as good as you can get for a goalkeeper in the ASUN.
I would love to see her play in midfield at least one game. I think that'd be fun.
You know what? She's an athlete. She could do it. And that one just thrown out of bounds. So UNA really struggling to keep the ball in their attacking third. Haven't really possessed the ball well at all. And this is a team, again, looking for some offensive relief. 1-6-2 on the season. And they won their last game, just like Kennesaw State, with a 3-2 win over Jackson State, the other JSU that Kennesaw State fans, I'm sure, are used to hearing. But Jackson State, again, a 3-2 win. They're able to put a lot of offense together, something that they haven't had a whole lot of this year. Only get 8.4 shots up per game and only 5 goals in 9 games total. So you take out those 3, and over 8 games, you have 2 goals.
And, you know, the stat sheet will tell you that you're going to be looking at some goals today. We might see one right now.
And there's Rivera in the open field. Got one-on-one, and she just gets it off the outside post. Left-footed. Tried to soft serve that one in there, and she puts her hand above her head. She knows she wants that one back.
Absolutely, Jordan. I mean, she was clear on goal. It was a perfect ball through by Kendall Higgs. And that's what I like about Kendall Higgs. You know, she plays that striker position, but she takes a midfielder's approach to it. She's looking for other opportunities for her quick wingers to run onto. Cervera unable to put it in the back of the net there.
Although they weren't able to capitalize here in the 35th minute of the first half, you have to be encouraged by the opportunities that you've seen from Tiana Rivera by herself. Seems to be on that far wing.
Well, I think she was just thinking too much about what foot to take it with, because the angles were being created by the goalkeeper. Do I slot it in with my left? Do I slot it in with my right? She took the left foot shot. Maybe the right foot into the near post may have been a better approach for her, but She's the one with a goal and 3 assists in the season, not me.
Now tell me, what do you think the approach is with going with the left foot shot to the opposite side? What do you think that goes through her head there?
Well, as a left winger, I'm sure she's probably more oriented with her left foot, crossing with her left foot, shooting with her left foot. But I think the approach there, I mean, look, she did all the right things.
Yeah.
You know, if we talk about a goal in that situation, we don't talk about what she could have done better. But just an inch wide.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
In the back line, maybe getting a little pressure here, but able to get the ball in their possession. UNA doing a good job of trying to counterattack here, and Simmons just does a great job cutting that one off.
Someone who's so good at using their strength, and a great turn there by Kyra Schuster.
UNA with it in the box for, I believe, the first time so far. That one knocked clear out of bounds. Schreck with the deflection.
Not surprising to see that kind of turn from Schuster at all. The German international is the leading playmaker for the Lions this season. She has 2 assists, not to mention a goal in the last game's win against Jackson State.
And German players are not hard to come by on this team. They have 8 players on UNA from overseas, and that includes Canada, Germany, I believe England. I believe there are 2 players from England.
It's something you're seeing a lot more of in the A-Sun, and it's great to see that the conference is getting that pull. I mean, obviously, we also have Brian Grant from England and the Kennesaw State squad, Agata Gianni from Italy.
Yeah, and certainly a lot of non-conference teams that Kennesaw State had played earlier in the year had a lot of international talent, and ones that you look at the pronunciation sheet and you're like, well, it's going to be a long day. You know all about that, doing play-by-play.
That Boston College game took some prep, didn't it, Jordan?
Vipka Villebrent.
I don't think we'll ever forget that one. And I know someone about names, Jordan. Believe me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know, in my phone, I have your full last name there.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's right. I respect it. I respect the name.
I try to make it easier for everyone else around us on the broadcast by just going by Matt Teen Rad, but you know, it's a hard to forget name. It's good to benefit by in that sense.
That's absolutely right.
Great touch by Gianni there.
Simmons with a beautiful ball right there to Rainwater. She just loses her footing right there, gives it away. And I think that's the difference for Kennesaw State. It's usually about the dribbling and about the first touch that really separate, I guess, everybody at this level.
It was something that was going really well for them against Wofford.
And a good opportunity for Kennesaw State right here. Oh, just knocked out of the box. Tremendous clear. Believe that was Ebert.
Yeah, Morgan Ebert, senior defender. She's showing her experience there. Great to just get in the right position and clear it out for any danger to be eradicated.
And especially a difficult play for Ebert because she had to cover Rivera on the far wing, but also you got to guard the middle at the same time when the threat is starting to get in there.
Well, absolutely. We talked about Kendall Higgs. She's someone that has a sweet right peg. She's known to put one in her time. She had 3 goals last season.
You see Simmons getting a lot of work here on the near sideline. Again, a rangy defender that uses her size like the team was saying earlier. That one knocked out of bounds.
North Alabama does have a player on their squad, Zoe Ellis. It's 4'11", and I would love to see her line up against Cameron Simmons. Just for the fun of it.
Kind of like the picture of Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry at the Alabama halftime.
Absolutely.
Or pregame. Yeah, that would be a tremendous picture. 4'11".
I don't think I recall seeing that in my time here, Jordan.
I don't think I've ever seen that, honestly. At least not on the stat sheet here on the roster. And there you go, a beautiful ball to Bussey, and she is the one to get the ball to for the Lions. Getting in the box, but right there, cleared out for Kennesaw State, making a threat a non-threat. And just a hopeless shot right there by Schuster, trying to get some offense going off the opportunity, because it's been slim to none for UNA early on.
Well, I don't blame her for taking that shot there. I think it perked up at the exact moment for her to put something on net, and it wasn't too far wide, but didn't really have the power in the end to trouble Pixton.
And a tough one, trying to get it right off the grass. Pixton's going to boot that one. And a struggle right there. They'll call a foul on that one. That was Higgs along with LaRoche. LaRoche from Quebec, Canada. One of the international players. And there's one right there. Just over to the goalkeeper, and so far both goalkeepers have had a relatively easy day, except for the one opportunity earlier from Rivera.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see goals and we're going to see shots on goal in this game, Jordan. Dylan Pixton has seen a ton of action in games this year, and not to mention looking at Peyton Yates in the other net. I mean, she's averaging 6 saves per game. That means she's seeing a ton of shots, Jordan.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yates, 48 saves, 76% of those saves. She has a shutout on the season. Also allowed 15 goals, but she's seen a lot of action. So that back line has not been terrific for the Lions early on. But once again, non-conference seasons / teams are completely different to when you get into the conference season. You never know how tough your schedule is. I think both these teams, you could argue, played a very tough schedule, among the toughest in the A-Sun. You're 27 minutes left in this first half, still 0-0.
Yeah, absolutely, Jordan. You know, Benji was talking to us today about you could have a 0-7 non-conference schedule, and really you're 0-0.
Yeah.
You get that fresh start. Really, this is about who's been able to iron out more of their wrinkles, the Lions or the Owls.
And early on, we see both defenses playing rather well. But again, I think Kennesaw State is following one of your keys. It seems to dominate possession down on this side of the field. And Miller chases that one down.
Miller's really impressing me again. She was my woman of the match last game. I know it's hard to take that away from Tiana Rivera when she got 3 points, but I was really impressed how Erin Miller did it all. And she's been reading the game excellently in the first 20 minutes today.
Yeah, Miller started off this season hot. She scored in the UAB game. Now 2 goals on the season. Again, another versatile player that I think Coach Walton preaches for his Owl squad. You see a lot of different players being able to play a lot of different positions. I mean, we see Simmons go from defense to midfield. We see Shrek also kind of play up sometimes, and then Erin Miller just add another player to that long list.
I think this is something that Coach likes to see in the players that he recruits, you know, and for exact same scenarios that he's dealt with this season with injuries.
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to call on this player from the bench and have her slot in at center back, full back, defensive midfield, attack? We've seen that a bunch this season.
Once again, here pretty soon, Coach Walton's going to have a good problem on his hands, but UNA putting up a real problem here, maybe an opportunity for Bussey, but just knocks that one out in front of her just a little too much. But a tough run, a good run, but a tough ball to keep in possession there.
Defensive miscue leads to a chance for the Lions as Cameron Simmons tries to pass back and creates a running chance forward for Bussey. And then again, there's Erin Miller once again just shepherding her attacker out. Just creates a goal kick for her in Pixton.
We've seen primarily Bussey with the ball on that far edge, and there's a reason for it. She leads the team in pretty much every major statistical category in shots with 15, points with 4, goals with 2, and also 9 of those 15 shots going on goal from Hythe, England. A good go ball there, but a 50-50 one. going back toward the Lions.
And just like we saw from Aaron Miller, we see it exactly on the other side from Montana Merkel. Just getting between the ball and the attacker, shepherding out for a goal kick.
And it looks like we'll have a substitution here with Kellett coming out.
Yeah, Grace Ellis comes in. It looks like she'll occupy that right flank.
Grace Ellis, a freshman. Three defenders around, they're able to get it through. And then back to Simmons once again. Starting to play up and maybe create some opportunities for Kennesaw State. And there's a crossing opportunity. Rivera unable to get it off the first touch. A good ball. Also a tough relay right there.
It was a great touch from Gianni, too. It's those quick turns that always create space and open up those runs.
Here are 23 minutes left, still 0-0. Both teams with a shot. So far, Martine, what have you seen from Kennesaw State's front line to give you some encouragement here for Owl fans?
Well, the runs and the chances are there. You know, we've seen Tiana Rivera receive two good diagonal passes, one from Kendall Higgs and one from Agata Gianni. So I think the chances are going to be there. It's just on if they can take them or not.
And we saw a razor-thin shot from Tiana Rivera just about 10 minutes ago. But the Owls seem to certainly be dominating possession in this half. And a struggle over there on the far side.
That's something you're going to see a lot from Macy Rainwater. She never gives up on any ball, no matter whether the defender is giving her back or not. She'll nip at your heels. She'll get the foul. She doesn't care.
And she was fighting with Ebert, it appears. Ebert getting her name called quite a bit for a defender early on. And not for the bad ways, bad reasons. So far with some good 50-50 chances and some stops.
It looks like we're going to see our first KSU substitution, Jordan. It's going to be Caden Price. She's someone who came in with a reputation of being a standout defender, a transfer from Coastal Carolina. But Coach Walton has been deploying her on the right wing and at forward. She played a more defensive midfield role in the last game, but you can see her playing extremely high right now.
Also appears Ebony Clark will sub in right there in the midfield. Clark, a player that's gotten some legitimate minutes as a starter. Kind of see her flip-flop in and out of the lineup as well.
Yeah, she's someone who started some games early on in the season, and we haven't seen as much of her lately, but it's great to be seeing her given a chance in conference play. Coach Walton's going to need everybody he can get on the pitch this season.
And there's no doubt about that. They started off the season down big with Contreras being out as well as Volrath, and Volrath making her first start here tonight, as we had talked earlier. Played in the last game against Wofford, had a shot in that game, but ultimately obviously did not start, and now getting some final quality minutes. And she had a very good spring, started 12 games, also scored a goal along with 3 points. So always good to get a experienced senior like Volrath back into the lineup team.
And now we see Swinton take her first touch in the game. And there you see how different her approach is at right back from Cameron Simmons.
An electric opportunity. She gets it up. Gonna try and cross it over the box. That one's knocked back out of bounds. And that was created by Swinton, just like you had said. And boy, her ears must have been burning because she crossed up the defender, put him in the spin cycle right there in midfield.
Well, I think Coach Wallen has seen that he wants his side to be a little bit more aggressive. Cameron Simmons is no slouch at right back, but with her 6-foot frame, she stays a little bit more back, stays a little bit more composed to bolster that spine of the back four. Swinton comes in, makes a bolstering run. We see the chance early on.
And then Shrek with the corner now. That is not the corner we're used to seeing from her.
Not at all.
Just botched that one a little bit, but ooh, a beautiful job. Go through between the legs, the cross. And wow, what a save by Yates to dive through the traffic and just rip that one out of the air.
Yeah, we were just talking about Ebony Clark, and she could have heard her name read out over the PA. But how about the turn from Sydney Borgelt? She just puts the ball past her defender, uses her pace to catch up with it.
Yeah, Borgelt with a tremendous play to keep that one alive. That one looked like it was going to be a dead play through and through. But she was able to keep it alive and create the best opportunity Kennesaw State's had since Rivera's shot. And maybe this will be different. Open field. Crosses them up, shoots them between two, just off the post. Can they get it back? No, taken away. Didn't get a good enough first touch, knocked. But that's going to be a corner opportunity for Kennesaw State. And just by the skin of their teeth, UNA keeps a scoreless game.
And what a chance for Macy Rainwater, Jordan. She did everything right, just like Tiana Rivera did on her chance. She takes the ball all the way to the byline, does a fake shot, puts it on her right foot, crashes off the post. Could have been easily a 1-0 game.
And she would be the first Owl to go to 2 scores on the season, as well as 3 if she was able to capitalize on that one. But a beautiful opportunity for the Owls here in the last 5 minutes. They've had 2. Shrek again. This one a lot better. And the set piece goes the opposite way. But they will be able to keep this one in the third. And a great ball over there to Shrek. She keeps it alive. Gets past her defender. Ooh, wow. Right off the chest of Montana Merkel.
You don't often see Shrek on the right side, and I think that kind of limited her options. She put the ball on her left foot. She knew, I'm not going to be able to get that trademark cross I have with my right peg. Let me try the shot.
That's exactly what she did, and Merkel paid the price. She will be feeling that one tomorrow, I can assure you that. Swinton, that's a beautiful cross, just a little too much mustard on it. Goes out of bounds. Wow. Kennesaw State, a ferocious team right now within the past 3 minutes.
She was trying to cross that ball into Tiana Rivera, but I don't think that ball was too far away from going to the goal itself.
Yeah, I think that's a statement that can be said right now. Kennesaw State seems to just be sniffing around the goalpost, but can't quite get it in the back of the net. 17 minutes left in this first half. Been all Kennesaw State. The Lions looking for some answers. And it's not even just, are they looking for some offensive or some attack? They're just looking for some help on the back line right now, because Kennesaw State is attacking. And Swinton almost cuts that one off to maybe create a fast break opportunity.
Yeah, I think that shows how frustrated Alice Bussey is. Little shove in the back to Isla Swinton, and I think a lot of it's because Isla Swinton has really done well in that matchup.
Certainly made a difference as soon as she checked into the game, and not a whole lot of teams, especially in the A-Sun, can say that they have a team as deep as Kennesaw State does. And here we go, another opportunity. That one through. Can she keep it in bounds? And she does, keeps it alive. Caden Price with the ball over to Swinton. Crosses that one into the post, and an open opportunity. No defender down there, they just froze. But another great stop by Peyton Yates.
That's when you know someone has a great cross in them, Jordan. You see Isla Swinton, the right back. We've been talking about her a lot in her little minutes that she's played thus far. She stops about 25 yards from net, and she doesn't get that straight line cross that you usually see farther down the line. That early cross in, and what a cross it was.
And once again, everyone just froze. There were about 3 or 4 attackers for Kennesaw State that were just ready to put that one in. And UNA needs to button it up on the back line if they want to keep this game scoreless. Not helping out their goalkeeper too much. Yates has been able to make some tremendous stops so far, Mateen.
Well, look, we've seen this from Wofford at the same point of the game. Kennesaw State did really, really well in the first half, and then all of a sudden, the last 10 minutes, Wofford turned it on. They turned their approach in a different direction, and were able to make it a 1-1 game at halftime. Mind you, the scoreline ended 3-1, but Wofford had their chances to win that game, and the Lions are going to have the same today.
And the scoreboard might be deceiving on that game as well, because Kennesaw State set the season high in 3 different categories: points, goals, and shots. They really had a good game on the offensive end. And usually Kennesaw State in the first half, Mateen, struggles to get into the flow of the game within the first half. We talked about that with Coach Walton. That does not seem to be the case here today.
Absolutely, and they're someone who have not seen a lot of early advantages, and that was something that was different about the Wofford game, and their approach changed throughout the game. They took a 1-0 lead and became maybe a little bit too safe in their approach and conceded some chances, and that's what made the game 1-1. But when the game became 2-1, they completely relaxed, and the play just flowed between their feet.
We'll see if the Owls can scratch one across here in I would say a lightning quick first half so far. Only 13 minutes left. It seems like the half had just started. If you're paying attention, Kennesaw State has been able to dominate on their attacking third. That one knocked out of bounds. I believe the Owls will keep. Still a 0-0 game.
Guess the referee saw something he didn't like. It'll actually be a free kick. Not sure where the foul was.
Yeah, the ball spotted, I would say, a good 20 feet back from where we thought the ball went out. There's another crossing opportunity, but just a packed top of the box for the Lions. Oh, beautiful move at midfield by Zoe Ellis.
Talk about what picks and adds to this team. She shows it right there. Calm and composed coming out of her box. We've seen her play sweeper-keeper a number of games this season.
Maybe a little too close for comfort right there, as Yates had to come scramble out a goal to get that one. You saw number 27, Macy Rainwater, try and chase that one down. Another one of these players for Kennesaw State, just so athletic.
Absolutely. She has blistering pace, just like the 2 wingers around her, Caden Price and Tiana Rivera. And it looks like Coach Walton has taken a different approach. We saw Kendall Higgs start in that striker role, and she's been shifted into midfield, and Macy Rainwater is now in that position.
And I'm sure you can see why. Once again, Rainwater, the first Owl to get to 2 goals on the season, and that's something that they need. They need that spark on that side of the ball. That one trying to get knocked out of the box for the Owls, and it is. I believe Schreck with a good play right there. No, make that Haley Decker. Both these teams just are not natural goal scorers. But you'd be fooled by that in this game for Kennesaw State so far. Kennesaw State last in shots within the conference. The next closest in shots is UNA with 83, Kennesaw State with 63, so quite a big gap between the first and last team right there.
In for the Owls, number 7 and 21.
And we have Lexi Labani coming into the game, and what a story she's been, Jordan. Did not have a single start coming into her senior year this season. Has made 3 starts so far, not to mention the first 2 goals of her career. She pounced on a ball that was shot hard off the post by Tiana Rivera. She opened up the scoring last game against Wofford.
Yeah, a vicious shot right off the dribble against Wofford, like you were saying. Labonte, a 5'6" senior out of Ormond Beach, Florida. A lot of Florida players on this roster. Still 0-0. About to cross the 10-minute mark here in the first half of play. Jordan Griffith, Mateen Rad here on the call. You can see the sunset dwindling here on a very cool first day of fall, brisk Thursday night. We have some KSU soccer and a good chance right there. An absolute strike. An absolute strike from Ebony Clark. Left-footed outside of the box. Put some twist on it and put the Kennesaw State Owls up 1-0 for the first time in conference play.
She can't even believe it. Hands on her head. Hey, what do you say, Jordan? That's got to be the goal of the season so far for Kennesaw State.
Undoubtedly. What a strike. Ebony Clark coming in, didn't even start today's game. Put her in at midfield. She says, hey, let me chip in. 1-0.
That goal for the Owls was scored.
And the defense just not doing enough there for North Alabama. You could see Ebony Clark taking the time to process. Is this my shot? Is this my shot? She puts in a vicious strike, top 90, near post. What a goal, Jordan.
And I have to say, it was kind of a lull them to sleep kind of moment. No one was really around her. No one was thinking that she was going to take that shot. And then all of a sudden, you got one in the back of the net.
Could be another here.
And another cross for Kennesaw State. Another opportunity knocked away just to flex off that right calf it looked to be. Right there, Lexi Labonte, she was looking for her third goal there, Mateen.
What a run of games it would be if she got her third goal.
At the 9th minute, Kennesaw State strikes first blood. 1-0 here against the first conference opponent here with the North Alabama Lions. Maybe an opportunity here for Bussey. Good job by Swinton to come clean that one up. Another crossing opportunity knocked. Or excuse me, that's going to stay in play a little longer than I anticipated. Back in the box, circling that one out is Charlotte Kellett. Gets a really good chance right there with Bussey, but didn't quite have the angle there.
And that danger all came from Shrek hesitating to say, am I going to take the touch in the box and try to clear it out for a goal? She lets it go, and North Alabama gets dangerous possession in the Owls' box.
Certainly have to say that's the best scoring opportunity that the Lions have had all evening.
Jordan, I'm still shaking a little bit, man. I love soccer.
It's hard
what
to,
a strike that
It's
was.
hard to get over that one, isn't it?
Where is Brandon? Is he behind me? Ray, I'm going to need a highlight for that one. I'm going to need you to send me that one.
The Owls just methodically moving the ball. Higgs with a beautiful job to try and slice through that crease. And if you're just now tuning in, you missed one heck of a goal from Ebony Clark.
In for the Lions, number 26.
By the way, on the far side, Jordan, we're seeing Elizabeth Rodenroth. She's someone who's only had 18 minutes this season. Let's see what she does with this opportunity.
Rodenroth, a sophomore, 5'3" out of Macon, Georgia. You know, Coach Walton likes to recruit the Georgia players. Played at Reinhardt. Also spent time as assistant coach at Indiana and a head coach at Birmingham Southern College. So very familiar with the South.
And he knows Alabama very well. As you said, former coach at Birmingham Southern. You know, there's rivalries all there if you want to look at Coach Walton's career, especially with teams like Samford. Of course, two Alabama teams on the docket for the Kennesaw State Owls. Up next, Jacksonville State.
Six and a half minutes left. Probably the longest time UNA has been able to possess the ball in the opposing half. And an opportunity there, but again, just a tick off. That one, maybe if it's put toward the middle a little bit, it could be a different story.
Last game, Jordan, I talked about how it was going to be interesting to see how Coach Walton approaches the game with that lead, that 1-0 lead. Be interesting to see how he takes it from here. Great turn by Labani.
And another scoring opportunity. Got to go chase that one down. This is Caden Price. We've seen this before in the corner. Trying to out-dribble her defender. Gets past her. The cross. Knocked just out of bounds. Excuse me, out of play, rather. Gonna be another opportunity. A header. Just goes clear over the crossbar. Yates had the attack that one, and Aaron Miller tried to get in there. Excuse me. Kendall Higgs tried to get in there and put that one in the back of the net. Higgs just putting her prints all over the soccer ball here in the first half. That's a 7th shot for Kennesaw State, Mateen.
Yeah, it was a great chance for Kendall Higgs. She puts the shot over the bar, but don't think that shot's going to count, unfortunately, Jordan, as the linesman put his flag up for offsides. You see now the referee trying to spot exactly where that offside occurred.
Still a 1-0 game for Kennesaw State. Under 5 minutes left to play in the first half. 7 shots on the docket for the Owls, 1 for the Lions.
I'll tell you what, Jordan, this is the first game that we've gotten to have under the lights, and I'm loving it.
Night games always hit different, don't they?
Absolutely.
Whether it be football or women's soccer or lacrosse. And Yates just gets that one recycled back to her. Well, the bad news for Kennesaw State fans, if you like the night games, they're going right back to the day. 1 p.m. kickoff Sunday against Jacksonville State. A newcomer to the ASUN Conference. So you have teams like Eastern Kentucky, Central Arkansas, and now Austin Peay, a new addition to the ASUN. I believe that will be in effect next season. Shrek, beautiful first touch, able to get that to a teammate. This is Labonte. Just cut off, but no, it deflects off her foot. Does Price have an opportunity? Trying to cross just off the, I think, toed it maybe a little too much. Put some backspin English on it that goes right out of bounds.
Yeah, Montana Merkel, she's done well in that left back position all game, but defensive miscue there creates a chance for Caden Price on the right side.
That seemed to be the story for the Lions back line. Seems to be the miscues.
Jordan, you were talking about that next game against Jacksonville State. The storyline for me in that game now, and it wasn't this way at the beginning of this game, does Ebony Clark start? Does Ebony Clark play? She hasn't seen minutes in every game this season, but I think Coach Walton is definitely going to have to reconsider based on just what an incredible strike we saw here.
You're absolutely right. But then again, we talked earlier, it's a good problem to have so many great players and so much depth, but also, well, who are you taking out? You know, it's such a conundrum from him, but I think he's going to take that into serious consideration after tonight. That one flipped up. Advantage for Kennesaw State as soon as it is wiped away. Pixon playing back into the goal, trusting her back line, and they come through for her, runs that one down. It's Haley Decker. You want to talk about a workhorse for minutes.
Yeah, she got a nice little vacation in the last game. I think she was off for about 7 or 8 minutes. And those were the first minutes that she's missed all season, Jordan.
An absolute workhorse for Coach Walton.
How about Isla Swin? We've seen her turn and twist so much, creating these runs on.
There's a chance for Price, but once again, just a little too much on it. But Kennesaw State creative on this side of the field, Mateen, in this half.
Absolutely. I think it's interesting to see them deviate from that because they have an incredibly dangerous left side. We talk about Shrek and Tiana Rivera a ton. But I think Coach Walton's been able to diversify this side a little bit. Swinton and, of course, Caden Price on the right side made it just as dangerous.
I know Swinton may technically not have any stats showing up after tonight, but I think she's made a really good difference here on the backside on this near sideline.
Couldn't agree more, Jordan.
Just jockeying for that one. And Izzy Gurney just comes by and says, I'm tired of watching this. I'm going to kick it straight out of bounds.
Nothing adds to the frustration of losing a game like being nutmegged. Lexi Labani with that sweet turn did exactly that.
Borgelt gives that one away, and wow, a cross that just has too much spin on that one. Goes out of bounds right behind the goal keep. Here in the final 30 seconds of the first half of play, Kennesaw State still with a 1-0 lead. They also have a major advantage in the shots category with 7 and the Lions with 1.
Yeah, that last opportunity was really the first contribution that we've seen from Elizabeth Rodenroth. I think that shows the lack of minutes that she's gotten this season.
Borgelt gets penalized for that one. She's pleading her case, putting out both palms. The Lions with under 10 seconds left to make something happen here. Malin Anderson gives that one away, but that is going to do it here in the first half. That has been all Kennesaw State so far. Again, 7 shots to 1. The Owls with a 1-0 lead over the UNA Lions. Team, what did we see so far in the first half?
I think we saw a stupendous goal, and that's something that's going to replay in my head over and over.
And that will do it here for the first half. Kennesaw State facing off against UNA. A 1-0 lead for Kennesaw State after a strike from Ebony Clark. That will do it here for the first half. Stick around for action here in the second half of play.
Katie, take one marker.
I always thought that film people were scary. I thought that this was a really scary industry and that it was so, dog eat dog, and it was, you're gonna get squashed like a bug. That's not really the case, at least with me. Since I was in the Atlanta metro area, I got to link up with things like Georgia Film Academy and through my college at Kennesaw State to discover that I can make a career out of, art. And I work in the film industry now. I am happily working in set deck and props. Basically everything that you see that the actors are touching, those will be your props. Everything else, the decoration, the dressing, that's set deck. And I don't think I ever knew I would get to this point, but I definitely am living the dream, and it's something I've always wanted to do. It's been a wild ride, but I love it. Yeah!
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. I've done the research. Honest plumbing service begins with Superior Plumbing.
Come on in.
For emergency repairs, upgrades, and ongoing maintenance, Superior Plumbing delivers reliable service at a fair price.
When you're in a panic and you need to call somebody, we call it Superior Plumbing. Great, thank you. That's a relief.
Plus, it's all backed by my Make It Right guarantee.
Call 770-422-PLUM.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better. So we always put 166.7% into everything we do.
Technically, you can only give 100%.
Well, technically, we have a state-of-the-art mobile banking app, fee-free ATMs, and great customer service.
I stand corrected. 166.7% is possible.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
The world has changed, but your desire to live your healthiest life has not. From temperature checks to extra deep cleaning, your health and safety when you visit our offices, health parks, and hospitals remains our top priority. Our primary care and specialty medical experts are ready to see you through any health concern you may have. We are here for Georgia, and we are here for you. WellStar, more than healthcare, people care.
Lucas, as far as his ambassadorship, everybody knows Lucas. He is one of those guys that people kind of gravitate towards. And so having him on our team has been valuable, not just for us, but for him and our staff. So having Lucas around, it helps give our other students some perspective.
I started working here fall of 2018, so a year after I came into Kennesaw. The job is great, meeting people is really, really great, but for me, it's definitely camaraderie. Like I said, it's family here.
I think the biggest challenge for us was to find a home for him within our workforce. So once I was given the green light to entertain that idea, it kind of blossomed from there. To get Lucas involved with our programs, we were looking for equipment, and we had a bike that was donated back in the 70s, a tandem bicycle that wasn't working at the time. And so I fixed it up, we restored it, and it became kind of a museum piece. But then Lucas walked in and we took it down off the wall and got it working, and that was enabling us to get Lucas out. Other students have kind of joined in to be the pilot for that ride. That's kind of how that started.
I've come here to get my my tandem bike fixed and stuff like that. So I ended up just coming here asking them, hey, is there something I can do in here? And I got interviewed and I got hired.
Chasing after students that may not be able to get involved any other way. There's been several students like that, whether they're in wheelchairs or what have you, students that I just kind of chase after.
You're ready. Ready for the next step. Ready to enhance your leadership skills and take control of your career, your future. You're ready for a Kennesaw State online MBA. Get an affordable, nationally recognized MBA in 20 months at KSU. Build your confidence and your network with anytime, anywhere access. You're ready to lead. Find your wings at Kennesaw State University.
Find your wings at Kennesaw State University.
Come on in, y'all look great. Awesome, love the hat and jersey, killing it. Come on up. Hey, that's a no, hard no. Guys, it's time to gear up. You're not dressed till you're KSU dressed. University Stores is your place to gear up for the season. Yes, and yes, come on in.
Championship action is when the ASUN is at its finest. That's why you'll want to visit asunphotos.com. ASUN Photos is present at every ASUN championship, capturing the action, including those must-have shots that you may have missed or want to save for a memory. We understand your passion, so when you want to relive those favorite moments, players, and special memories, start with the experts from asunphotos.com.
In high school, I had it in my head that when I got to college, I definitely wanted to go for drum major and see how far I could take it. But I did not expect to get it my sophomore year. As a freshman, I went through the audition process really just to meet people. Over the course of social distancing and being out of school, I've been conducting every single night. For my mace routine, I try to go outside probably once a week for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Just try to work on different skills. I've had to do a lot of learning on my own. My backyard is not a football stadium, so it is very, it's very different trying to practice in an environment where the band is not there, but it's almost comforting to know to start out learning in an environment where there's nobody watching you. And so I think for me that's helped, but I can't wait to get up in front of everybody, calling tunes, making sure I do the best to support our football team.
So let's welcome Coach Blue as our brand new women's basketball head coach.
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
And we welcome you back to the second half of action here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. Jordan Griffith, Mateen Rad. Let's go through some stats through the first half. What a first half it was, especially if you were an Owls fan. Some stats for Kennesaw State: 6 shots, 2 of those being on goal, a save for Pixton in goal, 4 fouls. They both have 4 fouls apiece. 2 corners for the Owls and 1 offsides, but obviously the goal by Ebony Clark, the strike, the bullet, whatever you want to call it. Just an absolute strike from Clark to put Kennesaw State up 1-0. And looking at some stats for the Lions, struggling right now, only 2 shots, 1 of those on goal. Not even sure if that technically was really that threatening of a shot. 2 saves, 4 fouls as well. No corners so far, so not able to get into those set pieces like you were talking about, and 2 offsides. Mateen, what of those stats stands out to you for either team?
Well, I think what stands out for me is Dylan Pixton only has 1 save. That's all she's been forced into. And as you recalled correctly, it was not a difficult save by any means. No matter what, North Alabama needs to do whatever they can to fizz a ball toward net or put a cross in a dangerous position and challenge Dylan Pixton to make the save. Because at the end of the day, where we stand right now, this looks like the Owls game.
It absolutely does, but again, a 1-0 game. Kennesaw State, known for their second half, let's say energy. That's the word that Coach Walton used with us this morning about the energy that they bring in the second half, but I don't know, man. I saw that in the first half. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to see from this Owls team.
Well, I think what Coach Walton needs to do is make sure that his team buckles up and buckles in, because they're going to need to be completely safe in their play and make sure that there are no leaks in the back four and that they keep this at least a 1-0 game and hopefully a 2-0, 3-0.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Kennesaw State has the ability to pour it on. Again, they are starting to show some really positive signs of offense. They had their highest scoring game of the season last time out versus Wofford in a 3-1 win. And Kennesaw State right now about to take the field. Just about a minute here from the second half of play. And Mateen, let's visit some keys that you had pregame. So looking for Kennesaw State, what do you think that they've done right or done wrong?
Well, they needed to create pressure in the attacking third. That's a huge part of their game. That's exactly what they did, keeping North Alabama pinned in their own defensive third. And that's exactly how they scored their goal, too. They picked up a loose ball. Ebony Clark does it all herself with a 22, 23, 24-yard strike, puts it right into the upper 90. And Jordan, I just can't get over it. I'm going to lose sleep about it tonight.
I mean, during halftime, we were watching the video. I mean, it's just, it's hard to really describe. It was such a shot. It was such a sudden shot that I don't think anyone really saw coming. She just all of a sudden teed it up and was able to fire one, again, up into the top shelf. And there was nothing that Yates was going to be able to do with that ball.
In terms of UNA, they have not seen through what our key of the game for them was, and that was be adventurous. We have not seen them put adventurous balls through. We have not seen them take their chances, and that's something that they're going to have to do if they want to get back into this game.
I absolutely agree, and we are just a few moments away from kickoff here with a fresh 45 for the second half of play. Kennesaw State up 1-0 over the Lions. Team switching sides. Kennesaw State still in the black and gold uniforms, and Alabama in the white and purple. Lions, one of the few teams, the only team in the ASUN that has the actual live mascot living on campus with their Lions. And yes, that is a fact. A frightening fact, but also a power move at the same time. And the second half is underway, and right away you can tell they're trying to push the pace, getting that one up quickly.
We've had a beautiful game of soccer all day today, Jordan, whether it was those crisp blue skies to start the game out, and now nothing are piercing the pitch black night but those floodlights of Fifth Third Bank Stadium.
I'll tell you, Mateen, you could write a Hemingway novel with the descriptions and the adjectives. Beautiful job.
Thank you so much. Something that we're seeing now is Tiana Rivera coming back into the game as well. Of course, Elizabeth Rodenroth finished out that half at left wing. We talked about earlier with Coach Walton about her coming in those crucial minutes. She could get one right here.
And Caden Price, excuse me, that is Rivera on the other end, and that one just goes behind the goal. Excuse me, I believe that is Price.
The price is right, Jordan.
Almost as good / bad as my Sam Smith joke against Boston College, I believe.
Oh, I loved that one.
That was, yeah, exactly. Hey, we love that type of humor up here in the box. So for UNA, you talk about being more adventurous. How do they start doing that? What's the process of that for the Lions to try and get anything going?
Easiest way to do it is retain possession. What a turn there by Kendall Higgs.
Higgs with the left-footed pooch. That's just going to be deflected, but put right back out into the attacking third for Kennesaw State, but I believe that the Lions will take possession.
You know, I think Kendall Higgs showed exactly what the Lions should be doing in their play. She had that turn, it created space, and that inhibits the North Alabama defense from getting a clear cut at the ball themselves. They need to be doing that and trying to put anyone through on goal.
And certainly something we haven't seen a whole lot of so far, and the scoreboard certainly indicates that. And something that's a little bit surprising, because this is a very athletic team. Coach Walker, that is Chris Walker, for UNA has recruited at least 5 or maybe even more. I forget my count off the top of my head. Players that lettered or played at other sports in high school. And there's an obvious shove, and that's going to be a call right there. Pretty easy call. I believe that's going to be on Malin Anderson. But you have players on this team that were lettermen in field hockey. You have, I believe, netball was another one of them. There's just a bunch of athletes. Basketball, another one of those sports.
Athletes are athletes are athletes. And wow, what a touchdown.
And a beautiful touch, but the shot just off the side. I believe that was Kendall Higgs with it, and I think she did a no-look touch to get that one in her possession to get a good shot off that right foot.
I think you're right, Jordan. She's someone that has not put one in the back of the net yet this season. We talked about Tiana Rivera last game and how she seemed intent from the opening whistle on scoring a goal. I think we're seeing the same from Kendall Higgs today.
And whatever her position may have been, you have to argue maybe this is her best position right now. She's playing a terrific game. And a nice 50-50 battle right there midfield. Leaves 2 players on the turf. Rivera looking to get that ball back from Schreck, but Schreck has other ideas. And I believe Price comes up limping a little bit. She can make that Clark. Clark, of course, probably going to play the rest of this game out with all the credit she was able to buy with that goal. Rivera backpedaling just to buy some time and a foul call.
Yeah, clear-cut foul there, Jordan. You see the tug of the jersey. Tiana Rivera earns a free kick.
That was on Grace Linsing, the senior. Her sister also starting here today. Forward 6-foot freshman Hope Linsing, both from Evansville, Indiana. Funny enough, did not go to the same high school.
One of 2 pairs of sisters that North Alabama has. They also have the Ellis sisters, Zoe and Grace.
We've seen, I believe, Grace get some minutes here today. And there's Pixon just knocking that one out.
Yeah, Pixon, no nonsense with that clearance.
About 40 minutes left, about 5 minutes down here in the second half of play. Still a 1-0 game. Getting into the deep corner, they're able to knock it out of bounds. I believe it was a corner. I think it was off an owl. No, it's going to go to the Owls. But they turn it over. Ooh, and a good chance, but Higgs just gets that one out of there.
It's a crucial intervention from Aaron Miller there, Jordan.
Excuse me, yeah, so Aaron Miller with that one.
Great pass by Volrath.
Here we go, Price with a chance. Crosses it over, and that one finds the back of the net. Number 22, Kendall Higgs. She's been sniffing it all night, and finally finds the back of the net for the second goal. Kennesaw State goes up 2-0.
And what did we say, Jordan? It's all about intent. And Kendall Higgs has been doing some creation for her side. Kaden Price receives the ball on the right flank, and she rewards Higgs for all of her efforts with a great cross into the middle. Easy for Kendall Higgs to touch in.
With 40 minutes left to play, Kennesaw State steps on the throat of the Lions, goes up 2-0. And I think you'll have to just look at this game. Not that it's over already, but ooh, tough play over there. Physical play. Leaves Price on the ground. Go toward the Owls. But you have to look at Kendall Higgs today and say she's got to been the player of the game so far.
Absolutely. I mean, she's created so much, whether it be in that striker role or in the midfield role that she's dipped into now.
And Schreck trying to set something up right there. Rivera just outruns her opponent. Wasn't able to get enough lift on that ball to make it a true threat, but the Owls trying to make something of this possession.
I think this is as dangerous, as cutthroat as this Owls offense has been all season. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Owls offense make this team pay and we see them go 3 goals or 4 goals up.
And you were talking about the physicality. Coach Walden said today, he goes, there's a pretty good pretty strong correlation between the amount of fouls we have and wins. That when we foul, we get wins because they are fight, they're physical, they grind these wins out. But this has been all finesse for the Owls. They haven't quite had to get that grinding physical nature so far here yet, Mateen.
And there's some players that I think really highlight that mentality, whether it be Sydney Borgelt, who's someone that controls the pace of play in the midfield for both teams with her simple touches and her passes back and her maintaining of possession. I think another player that does that is Macy Rainwater. She's someone that's always nibbling at the ankles of her defenders. Sometimes she gets that loose ball. Sometimes she puts it toward on net, scores a goal.
In most sports, it's tough for a freshman to really adapt the coach's attitude, but that doesn't seem to be the case for Macy Rainwater.
I think it's a case of great recruiting, Jordan. I think Coach Walton saw that she fit that mold and put her in there.
Just dribbling around with the ball, trying to keep possession. That's Kate Wiseman. Wiseman, another one of those athletes that we were talking about, played field hockey over in Andover, England. She's a very key player in the midfield. 6 shots, second on the team. And led the team in assists back in the spring. But Kennesaw State's going to get another chance here. A 2-on-2. The senior fires that one right into the hands of Yates. Couldn't quite get the angle, but a good chance there for Jenna Volrath.
Yeah, you see how heavily bandaged that right hamstring of hers is. And you wouldn't believe that she was dealing with an injury on that run. She beats her defender. She's looking for her first goal in quite some time. It's just unable to put that one past Yates.
Again, she had 1 goal back in the spring. Started 12 games, played in every single one with 3 points on the season. That's spring season, that is. 36 minutes left in the second half. The Owls up 2-0. And look at Higgs just trying to chase that ball down. Gives that one to Schreck, but she loses that one on the first touch.
I think a little stamp there from Catherine Schreck on number 9, Charlotte Kellett. I think Schreck a little bit lucky to not concede the free kick there.
And Kellett, once again, maybe the best athlete on their team. Played basketball, netball, and a captain all 5 years of secondary school. She also ran a 12.6 second 100-meter dash. Also holds the 200-meter dash at that secondary school, and also was the top scorer in soccer in that entire stretch. Multi-sport athlete. Now I'd love to know what netball is.
I'm not quite sure.
I definitely don't know. It's probably an Olympic sport.
It's a good spell of possession here for the Lions.
Lions moving it around efficiently. This is LaRoche. Just trying to keep it alive, and she does. Wiseman with a chance. Gets over to an open attacker. Just knocked away. I believe that was Haley Decker with the deflection. And here on the other end, Volrath with a beautiful ball through, but just too much. Doesn't matter. Price is here to clean it up. Thought Miller was going to cut into the box, but nothing there. Goes right back to the Lions. But keeping on this half of the field.
Yeah, she was trying for that just little cut back to Kendall Higgs.
There's Clark. Almost puts in another one. Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you, Jordan, because when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. And I think Ebony Clark is feeling it today, and she may have cemented herself a starting position in this lineup.
How many yards out would you even guess that one to be?
I would say probably roughly about 30.
30 yards out.
Probably roughly about.
A rough somewhat estimate. Still a 2-0 lead for Kennesaw State.
Pickson unable to recycle the ball there. They will get possession back.
Pixton having one of those games where she probably should have brought a book. Hasn't had a whole lot to do back there. best chances actually have come from the last 2 possessions from the Lions down here in the attacking third team.
How about that? So calm and collected from the Owls in a defensive possession there. Something I'm not surprised about, maybe a lot of people would assume Cameron Simmons would have started the second half at right back. But we're seeing Isla Switten there start the second half there, and I think she's deserved every minute that she's gotten tonight.
And Coach Walton's certainly playing the hot hand and also keeping in Clark. Of course, she didn't start here today. We got a player down on one knee. Malin Anderson, I think she's going to come off the field.
Swedish international. It looks like she's grabbing that back of her leg, her hamstring. And that's something you never like to see. It's never a great injury.
Coach Walker, Chris Walker for the Lions in his 7th season for the Lions, 76, 56, and 10 record. Previously assistant coach at Lee University, a local school. That one thrown right into the box, a very close play. Good defense. I couldn't quite see. I believe that was Tiana Rivera. I couldn't quite see. Maybe it was.
I believe it was number 6 for North Alabama. Montana Merkel was tussling with number 16, Jenna Volrath. And Volrath does just enough to try and put Merkel off. Could have been a goal-scoring opportunity. Talk about Clark feeling it, Jordan.
Man, just crosses up her opponent in the midfield. Another beautiful ball right there from Kendall Higgs. Unable to receive it properly. But here we go again. Rivera, nice dribble. Fakes her defender out. Is going to beat her to the edge. Maybe not. Knocks it out of bounds. Make it a corner. Who are they going to give it to? I think Shrek's making her way over there.
That's no surprise, is it? He's able to put in those curling balls no matter what side of the pitch it is.
Just about 30 minutes away. Kennesaw State up 2-0.
She plays it short here just to keep it a little bit more safe.
Set piece for the Owls. She does not. She goes long. Not clear out of the box. But team, what have you seen from Kennesaw State in terms of trying to score on set pieces this year?
Well, that's where they've collected a lot of their goals from. You know, we look at the physicality of players like Erin Miller, Caden Price. Often enough, you have Cameron Simmons in the box. When you have someone like Catherine Schreck delivering your corners for you, you're always going to be a danger on set pieces.
And a foul goes the current way toward the Lions. Fun fact, Kennesaw State has not had any yellow cards called on their opponents this season. They've had 5 called on them. And that also includes red cards as well.
Yeah, we've talked about how that plays a part in the Kennesaw State team and how they play their game.
And an entry shot fiddled around with for the Owls. And Bussey just tries to get something that resembles offense for her team. And a somewhat save right there from Pixton. Trying to fake out some defenders throwing it, or excuse me, some attackers. Trying to throw it to each side. Still a 2-0 lead. Under 30 minutes left to play now, and it's been all Kennesaw State so far.
But that's exactly what we've been saying North Alabama does. We saw it through Alice Bussey there. Just try and challenge Pixton any way you can.
And here's Volrath with a good run. Trying to beat out her defenders, nutmeg somebody, but knocked out of the box. Went 5-hole there. And now trying to counterattack for the Lions, but I don't think there's going to be much made of it. Recycled back to Pixton. Might as well peg her as another backline defender for the Owls.
Owls back line just doing a fantastic job of nullifying anything the North Alabama Lions put forward.
And here's another chance for Volrath. Knocks it off of her back. A 3-on-2.
Still her.
And just puts that one on goal. Or close to it, rather, as Yates scoops that one up for an easy save.
Yeah, I think it's easy to tell sometimes when somebody's taking a shot with their weak foot, and I think that's what we saw from Volrath right there.
And although it was a great entry ball, that one just knocked off her back, and I think that kind of changed the progression of what that fast break was going to be.
Looking at the subs about to come in for Kennesaw State, I think they're showing no mercy at all.
And there's one of the better shots put on goal today by Kate Wiseman, the senior for the Lions. Pixon scoops it up off of the turf.
You see Rainwater and Agata Gianni waiting on the sideline there. Talk about ruthlessness. Two very important attacking players for the Kennesaw State Owls about to come into this one.
Here is Volrath. Finds an opportunity for Clark. Clark, can't she get her second? She fakes out the goalie and puts it in the back of the net. 2 goals on the day for Ebony Clark. Have yourself a night, young lady. 3-0. Kennesaw State takes a commanding lead here in the first conference game on the season.
Ebony Clark with the brace, and you cannot say that any brace could be more deserved. The first one with a 2-goal performance this season for Kennesaw State, and what 2 goals they were. One an absolute screamer from 20-plus yards out. This one just a fine dribble pass. Peyton Yates, an easy slot in the back of the net to give the Owls their biggest lead of the season thus far, Jordan.
And boy, I'm sure if you go back and look at that replay, I'm sure she was already celebrating by the time she faked that goalie out. She was pretty much already guaranteed to put that one in the back of the net, and that's exactly what she did. A 3-0 lead. And Mateen, this has got to be the best Kennesaw State team we've seen so far.
We were talking with Coach Walton earlier about is the Wofford game the textbook scenario of how this team is supposed to operate, but I think we're really seeing it today, Jordan.
26:50 left here in the second half of play. The Lions just looking for something.
Talking more about Ebony Clark and her goal, I know she made that look extremely easy, Jordan, but that is not easy to do at all. She's someone that had so much time to think, and the Owls could get another one right here.
The Owls not looking to take it easy on the Lions one bit. Volrath on the far wing, trying to keep it in play. Knocks out of bounds. Corner kick for the Owls.
Referee disagrees.
Never mind. I thought it was. Maybe it hit off Volrath off the initial deflection.
But Jordan, when you're on those breakaway chances, like exactly the one Ebony Clark was on that goal, you would think having more time to think about what I'm going to do in this scenario is what you'd want. Sometimes that plays with your head, but not when you're Ebony Clark. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. She did exactly that, and the Owls are up 3-0.
And here's Schreck playing up. She feeds that one over to Rainwater. Steep angle. And the back line able to clear that one out of bounds. Or no, they would keep it in.
Good on Kate Wiseman there. That's a great ball forward.
And Pixon having to play way out of the box and boots that one past midfield. Good read by Pixon right there, but a risky one nonetheless. That could have been a goal by Taylor Trout if she had a open midfield like she was supposed to have.
Dylan Pixton showing that she's just as part of this defense as anyone in the back four is. Although, as we speak, I'm seeing A.J. Needham being put through her paces off of the Kennesaw State bench. I'm wondering if she's going to see some minutes in this game.
And here's Rivera outrunning her opponent. Blistering speed. The cross. Can Higgs clean it up? No, just off of the right post.
It looked almost exactly like the goal that she scored. Her sliding to put that left foot effort on goal. This one just misses.
And a sliding effort, you are absolutely right. And not as though Kennesaw State hasn't already put the icing on the cake, but that would have been the icing plus the sprinkles.
Absolutely. And we see Cameron Simmons come back in for Isla Swinton right back. And I think Swinton is someone that really needs to hold her head up high. I think if this stays a 1-0 game, you could argue that she's the woman of the match, but Ebony Clark with 2 spectacular strikes.
Here's maybe a chance for the Lions, as you have Zoe Ellis getting into the attacking third.
I'll tell you what, Zoe Ellis might be 4'11", but showing extreme tenacity and strength there to get past Sydney Sauer, who's a strong player in her own right.
The Owls looking mighty fine, scoring some goals since senior day against Wofford. They've put up more than they have pretty much the entire rest of the season.
And Jordan, I'm sure the layman will say that, you know, shots create goals, but really passes are what facilitate everything. I don't think we've seen this Owls team pass as well as they have today this season.
Yeah, they look absolutely crisp on that side of the ball. 13 shots, only 2 for UNA. And UNA, they are used to getting outshot in their games. 8.4 per game, they allow 16. So that's pretty much getting to where the average is for Kennesaw State. And probably going to be right there around 16 by the time the game is all said and done. But only 2 for the Lions. What can they do right now to try and turn that around?
I don't know if they can, Jordan. We're being honest.
We got a free kick right there, and a Pooch. Great job of putting it on the money, but Pixton able to come in and snag it, and she collides with a couple defenders. I think she's okay. Talks to the referee. So, hey, good save out there.
The linesman adjudicates that she was fouled, and she'll get the free kick.
And the Owls starting to put some things together after losing quite a few veteran players last season. Lost over 6,000 minutes of play with Cameron Downs, Aaron Harris, all 3 Kendalls, or excuse me, 2 of the Kendalls. One Kendall still here, Hart and Baker. So they've lost quite a few players, but it doesn't matter. They're doing all this without the help of Becky Contreras. There's a free kick, and that one go straight out of bounds. Pixton doesn't even sweat it. 21 minutes left, still a 3-0 lead for the Owls. They've been able to really clamp down here in this second half. I think even a better performance than the first.
Yeah, I think the North Alabama Lions are a little bit resigned to what the result is going to be. We've talked about them trying to put balls in the dangerous areas, and they've just been unable to do that today, Jordan.
And not the best ball from Pixton. She looks down at her feet right afterward, knocks it out of bounds.
And Jordan, it looks like my assumption that AJ Needham was being put through her paces on the sideline, and it looks like she is going to be subbed into this game.
AJ Needham, number 26, junior goalkeeper. This will be her, I believe, her second game appearing this year. And certainly just trying to clean up during garbage time, which, gotta say, that's pretty much what we're seeing right here. Under 20 minutes left to play now, 3-0. Kennesaw State looking mighty fine after their Wofford win. And maybe things have started to turn around. They will go more than likely, I don't want to say it too soon, more than likely go undefeated on the conference schedule. They'll play Jacksonville State on Sunday. That's Jacksonville, Alabama, that is.
Here's Lexi Labonte, who's been the story of the season so far for Kennesaw State, if you ask me. Did not receive a start before this season. Has received her first starts as a senior and has 2 goals to show for it.
Maybe another chance for Rivera trying to scheme her way through 2 defenders right there, but it's been knocked around a few times since. A trip up right there. And Borgelt will get the call against her opponent. They will leave this free kick for number 5, Haley Decker.
Yeah, Decker hovering over this one. We see her mostly in these free kick positions that are 30+ yards out.
And they will keep it short and just try and play the clock right now. There's Simmons making her way, fighting through the midfield and into the attacking third, just bowling her way through. Puts a defender on the ground. That's Morgan Ebert. We said her name a couple times today for the right reasons, and that time just gets bowled over.
Cameron Simmons, an absolute bulldozer, and that's what makes her so good. You talked earlier in the game about her and her strength and her height, and she uses all of those feats extremely well.
You will not see many players like her around the ASUN Conference.
And I think if you do, you don't see them deployed where she is. I think if you look at these 6-foot defenders, you would assume that they're being played at central defense, but Cameron Simmons being the most used right back for Benji Walton this season. And there we see A.J. Needham coming into the match, getting some crucial minutes for her that she doesn't often see with how dynamite Dylan Pixon has been.
And Pixon will check out with her first shutout. Again, with 17 minutes left. Needham checking in, a new goalkeeper for the Owls, but the same old attack.
Look at Gianni.
Beautiful crossover there, and wow, knocked out of bounds, or out of the box. That was Grace Linsing with the header right there.
We saw a great fake shot from Sydney Borgel after that, trying to create a shot on goal, but just unable to pounce on a loose ball.
And right now, it just seems like Kennesaw State is beating them to the ball, especially in the open field, Mateen.
Yeah, we saw a first kick of the ball from A.J. Needham there, probably showing just the lack of time that she's gotten this year. An extremely crucial piece to this team, as any number 2 goalkeeper is. Obviously, Dylan Pixon, an incredible leader, an incredible part of this back line. But always important to make sure that your backup is getting reps.
And that's exactly what they're doing here. Pixon getting reps in this game, and we're going to say that one, I believe, a foul call.
Yeah, Labonte just holding her defender back, allowing Macy Rainwater to run on. And that's adjudicated to be a foul by the referee, head official Sky Arthur Benning today.
You hear some crowd a little displeased with that.
Yeah, this is about as boisterous as the crowd has been all season. We love to see it.
Also considering that the crowd mic is on the opposite side of the field, and we can hear most of that. 15 minutes left, and the Owls just looking to get out of here healthy, because they have done everything that they need to secure themselves a very important and very dominant victory here tonight.
Yeah, you know, everybody talks about who's scoring the goals, Jordan, but I think there's no doubt that Coach Benji Walton has his center back pairing throughout the season. That's Aaron Miller and Haley Decker.
And hopefully we can talk to coach post-game, and certainly Ebony Clark is going to be the first question on the docket. Closest chance that UNA has had, I believe, here in the second half. They have not followed any of your keys to the game so far. The Lions just struggling, especially the second half. I believe it's gotten even worse.
Yeah, I think that this is a program in transition, and if anyone can lead them out of it, it's head coach Chris Walker. He's someone that has seen this team through ups and downs here in his 9th season at the Florence, Alabama team. And I think this team needs pieces, and this team needs structure, and hopefully that'll come with time.
And he's a guy that knows all about winning. Won 2 NAIA national titles as a coach over there at Lee University for the Flames. Maybe a chance here, advantage. And Ellis will fight that one and get it deflected. It will continue to keep.
Wasn't the best of first touches there from Decker initially, but she does well to get there before Ellis does and clear the ball out.
Merkel with the throw-in. Wow, a dangerous throw-in. Not sure why they would even attempt that one. They just want to try and keep possession, maybe get a shot up, but doesn't seem to be interested in that one.
One of our keys of the game for North Alabama, Jordan, was to be adventurous on set pieces. Sometimes with those long throw-ins, you can create set pieces out of something as simple as a throw-in. And now we see Brian Grant get some crucial minutes, which Benji Walton has really been doling out with such a commanding lead.
And Brian Grant, I know a player me and you were both high on, I believe in the UAB game as she came off the bench, and this is another spark plug. As if Coach Walton doesn't have enough of those. Has about 3 or 4 off the bench, and that is maybe being a little conservative to say that.
I've been quite the vocal Brian Grant supporter coming out of England herself, and she's someone who shows that European flair, I think. She has that close control, and she has that pace that few people on the team have. People like Jenna Volrath and Tiana Rivera have it, but she's someone I think that you should watch as the season progresses.
Just about crossing the 12-minute mark.
I believe this is Emily Hayward coming in.
Number 18, Hayward for number 19.
And that will be Emily Hayward coming in for Zoe Ellis.
And I think she's going to be deployed in a similar position out on the right wing here.
Another throw in, but really covered well by Kennesaw State. We're close to just taking it away. There's an offside, I believe.
Clear offside there. If she was onside, that might have been one of North Alabama's most clear-cut chances they've had in this 90 minutes.
The Owls have a long conference road ahead. Again, they play JSU on Sunday, but they are looking to get back where they were last year. ASUN Conference Championship, lost 1-0 to Liberty, and a heartbreaker.
And there we see Lexi Labani. I interviewed Coach Walton after the Wofford win. She scored a goal, and I asked him about her story and what makes her so good. He says she's someone that will do anything to get on the ball, put on a meaningful pass, create goals, score goals. She shows just how tenacious she is. That piece of play right there.
In for the Owls, number 6, Clark, and number
We see Ebony Clark coming in as well as Rodenroth.
Still time here, Jordan, 10 minutes. Be great to see Ebony Clark get the Hattie.
We'll see if she gets an opportunity. UNA has been able to sustain some possessions down on this half. Just not really able to get any true opportunities or scoring chances. We are just about to cross the 10-minute mark. And the score has reflected the pace of this game. All Owls in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see just how desperate North Alabama is in their approach there. as Hope Lensing skies a shot over the crossbar. She was someone that I was excited to see going into this one, but playing at forward, the Lions around her unable to create many chances for her. But you could just look at the team sheet and see why she's so commanding.
And that's the first save for Needham, having to save that one out of bounds. Best shot by far for the Lions on the night. Comes at 9 minutes left in the game, team.
And what a save for Needham. You could tell the team really wants to keep this clean sheet going and how much it would mean for them in the defense.
The corner opportunity. Didn't really get much height on that one. Needham throws her hands up and lets it go out of bounds. And talk about Lensing leading the team in minutes played, 850 minutes so far this season coming into this game. Again, from Evansville, Indiana, with her sister Hope starting on the team as well. Grace, a senior, and Hope, a freshman.
Yeah, Hope, a commanding presence, 6 foot forward, and she got on the score sheet for the first time in style. Opened her UNA account with a 3-point game. The goal and assist in the last game was crucial in that win against Jackson State. It was their first, and looks after this game their only win of the season thus far.
North Alabama will most certainly go to 1-7-2, looking for answers. Rodenroth with a advantage for Kennesaw State. Duels it out to the corner and knocks it out of bounds.
Yeah, a lot of Owls that are on the fringes of the team getting some chances from Walton today. We talked about Rodenroth a little bit. She got 11 minutes in the first half, which built on her 18-minute account throughout 3 games this season.
Yeah, I was trying to enter that one into the box. They are not settling for 3-0. They are attacking. Clark lets that one sail right past her. I think she knew it was going to be intended for rainwater.
Offsides called there. Will be a chance for the goalkeeper, Peyton Yates, to put a ball up and see if they can salvage something that they can build toward the next game with. They can't save the result at this point, Jordan. Hopefully they can save some of their dignity. Not to be too harsh on them, because this has been the best we've seen the Owls all year.
But then also, I mean, again, it's a very tough loss for North Alabama. It's a team that they should have at least competed with, and that's not been the case. And unfortunately, the road doesn't get any easier. They go to Liberty, a noon kickoff in Lynchburg, Virginia. And we all know about Liberty, just athletics in general. That is not going to be an easy game whatsoever for the Lions. But if there's a game to turn it around, that ought to be it.
I mean, if they can get out of there with something, even a tie, I think that's something that they can hang their hat on.
Just jockeying throughout the home box for the Owls. A run for Rivera, almost chases her opponent down clean. Boy, does she got some wheels.
Yeah, it's become somewhat of a signature move for Agata Gianni, those diagonal balls that she puts through. She almost finds Grant on the run.
And 5 minutes left to play here. The Owls establish their dominance to start off. They will go to 1-0 on the conference year. Again, they play Jacksonville State here at home. I'll be here on YouTube. We'll be back on that game. That will be.
Miller chases this ball on. Should be easy for her to deal with.
Maybe didn't put enough on that one to give Needham enough time to react. Needham had to come out and almost emergency punt that ball out. And again, this is just trying to play a little bit of keep away for the Owls, try and get out of this game because they have a lot of positives to look at.
Good job by Grant there to hold up play. Just unable to find Rainwater on the ensuing run.
And so far from what you've seen here tonight, Mateen, what do you think the first step for North Alabama is to try and turn this season around?
It's hard to say, Jordan. I think that they're a team that's struggled in each area of the pitch, but I think the biggest, the most crucial point that they need to work on is defense is what wins games. If you don't have a defense that is going to be leak-free, then you're not going to have the opportunities to win games. And that's something that definitely they need to work on, because this could have been a 5-0 game, a 5-0 result for them today.
And I would like to say that it's a inexperienced back line, but that's just not the case. They have 2 seniors, a junior and a freshman back there, but some experienced players just not doing exactly what they needed. 9 players returned from the spring. They were just an ASUN runner-up in 2018. And here you are looking at a completely different team for the Lions. They've still recently graduated quite a bit from that 2018 team. 2.5 minutes left in this contest.
And if really the Lions were able to make any of these passes meaningful going forward, they could have really troubled the back 4.
You're absolutely right. That certainly didn't seem to be the case tonight.
Have a chance here.
Here's some communication from the defense for the Owls, and Needham having to at least chase that one down out of bounds.
Yeah, I think Needham, like Pixon, has the wherewithal to know where her posts are and where the danger's coming from. Her spidey sense is not tingling there, Jordan.
Down to the last minute and a half, and Kennesaw State will go on to 4-4, facing Jacksonville State for the second game of the conference year here on Sunday.
That crucial point of being 500 in your winning percentage, it creates those good vibes and shows that you're a strong team going forward.
1 minute.
And I think they're going to have a really good chance to go over 500 against Jacksonville State.
Once again, they're not too familiar with JSU as they are a brand new ASUN team. Here's Rainwater. See if the Owls can maybe put this to 4-0. Here's about 40 seconds left. Rainwater tricks out her defender. Puts her on skates, and that one knocks clear out. Under half a minute left, and it is all but written here in Kennesaw State.
Have a free kick opportunity here. It'll be interesting to see if they're hungry for that 4th goal, if they'll just pass back easily and secure what's already there. There's only 10 seconds left on the clock.
You're absolutely right, 10 seconds left. We'll see if they take it. I doubt they will. And yeah, Rainwater just gonna keep in the corner.
3, 2, 1.
And that will do it. Here at Fifth Third Bank, Kennesaw State just dominates from the word go. Full 90 minutes, and Kennesaw State, man, what can you say about them?
I could say a few things, and one of those things is Ebony Clark. I mean, what a tremendous performance. You're talking about someone that just had not seen the minutes this year. She was given an opportunity today, Jordan, and did not miss. We're talking about 2 amazing goals, one a 20-plus yard strike, and one her just dribbling around the goalkeeper and slotting in.
Kennesaw State works their way back to 500, 4-4 on the year. They will face off against Jacksonville State this Sunday, 1 p.m. We will be on the call yet again, my friend.
Can't wait for it, Jordan.
That is it from Fifth Third Bank here in Kennesaw, Georgia. Jordan Griffith with Matt Teenrad. Thank you so much for watching. Kennesaw State wins 3-0.